What is up, YouTube? It's Docky Style Gaming, or DSG, and we're back at it again with another Anthem video for you today. And before I get into the video, this one is dedicated to all the actuallys in my last video. Now, for those of you wondering, what are actuallys? Actuallys are people that I consider on YouTube, the people who watch a video, find one misinformed detail, and go in the comments and instantly are, actually, this is what we meant about your comment, or actually, this is how it should have been. Well, this is what was really said. All right, actuallys, chill out. Like I said, if you watched my videos before, that was stuff that Mark Dara had asked on Twitter, and I said I would be covering the Q&A segment of the live stream in a separate video, which is this video today, the Q&A live stream of Mark Dara, the executive producer, and John Warner, the game director of Anthem. So, for all you actuallys, here is the video you've been waiting for and watching, and if you really want to type something in my description, be sure to watch the full video before you actually start typing, because there were some of you that were typing some stuff, and I'm just like, I've mentioned this in another video. I know y'all just come to channels to type, actually, you didn't do this correctly, but I did. So, like I said, I was just covering stuff on his Twitter, not this Q&A that everybody kept wanting to point out. Actually, on the Q&A, he said, actually, I went back and watched the Q&A. Well, actually, I'm covering the Q&A stuff now, so stop worrying about it, because it's about to be covered right now. And because it's about to be covered, I'm just going to get into the main part that everybody was actually the whole last video. Everything else they said nothing about, but that one detail they all had to go to the comment section for. So let me cover that right now. The microtransactions. Now, when talking about the microtransactions in the live stream Q&A, they did say that microtransactions will cover cosmetics and crafting materials. Now, with crafting materials, they said that crafting materials are limited and you can buy them in small amount from the merchant at Fort Tarsus, but only using in-game currency, not premium. So, for those of you people wondering in my last video, there you go. I covered it. You're welcome. Go actually somebody else's channel. So, now that that's out the way, yes, there are microtransactions. It is still 100% purely cosmetics, and you don't have to worry about premium currency and be able to buy anything. It's all in-game currency. So there you guys go. Now, let's get into the rest of the actual video itself. So, first thing that was actually mentioned, and by the way, this is just the Q&A portion. They did go over a bit of the gameplay, which I'm going to cover in another video. This is just all the live stream questions and answers from Twitter, YouTube, Reddit, everything like that, from their Twitch streams and everything that they were doing live. So that's what all these questions are. And like I said, I'll be doing an actual gameplay breakdown video, different things that they showed off, different loot pickups where you can see them actually pick up, like an epic gear and stuff like that. But I'll be doing that in a separate video. Now, let's get into the actual Q&A. Now, one of the things that was asked was about the PlayStation right now. If you pre-order it, the date is messed up, and it says that you won't be able to play Anthem until December 31st, 2019. And we all know that Anthem actually comes out February 22nd, 2019. They did say that's a mistake, only on the PlayStation Store for some reason, and they're working on fixing it if it's not already fixed by now. Now, on to the next thing they were talking about were emotes, and I covered this in another video where they said that at the moment right now you can have 4 emotes equipped, but they're going to be trying to, they said that you could possibly have more later on. They don't know yet, but on, I guess on the subject of emotes, flares are considered an emote, and they said that you can throw them to, light different caverns, to mark a target or signal for your teammates, but that is currently equipped on your gear wheel, and you can throw them, I'm assuming, whenever, because it's considered an emote. So, have fun throwing some flares. Now, They were talking about different things as well when it was in terms of customization and like the emails. They said that there will also be customized landing animations when joining other players in game or matchmaking and stuff like that, which we saw in the original E3 trailer where the Storm came in. He had a special animation. I believe the Colossus as well had a smashing animation when he appeared in the original E3 one. But they did say there will be different customized landing animations for matchmaking in the game. So I thought that was pretty cool. Now, Halleck, or Halleck, however you pronounce it, they said he's going to be the driver of the Strider. And all the crew members are technically considered your ciphers. I've already kind of covered this. Faye, Halleck, and Owen are all ciphers. And they said that they're pretty much like your I guess your eye in the sky, or, you know, the person in your ear that's talking to you while you're going through your missions. And even though they didn't say that you'd be able to change them, they said they were ciphers and that's what they do. So I'm assuming between the three, you'll be talking to them through different missions in the game. Now, onto the map itself. They were talking about the different map icons that were shown at the beginning of the gameplay, and people were wondering what all the map would show. And according to Mark Dara and John Warner, they said the map icons will show strongholds, mission, your replays, your fast travel locations, and landmarks or special places that I'm assuming have significant value in game on the map itself. And that's all they pretty much went into. They did say that the missions, your main missions, will have a triangle icon. So, I mean, that's nothing too big. We'll probably figure it out for ourselves when we actually get our hands on the game, and it'll probably be a pretty simple map icon system where they might have something that'll show us what it is. Now, I kind of mentioned this briefly in my last video, but they were talking about the Forge, and they said the Forge is going to be in both your Strider and Fort Tarsus, but the market will be specific to Fort Tarsus itself. So if you want to go to the market, again, like I mentioned, buy any of your cosmetics, your limited amount of crafting material that you can only buy with in-game currency, not premium actually. You go to Fort Tarsus to do that in the game. Now, they were kind of talking about the scaling of enemies, which I did cover, I believe, 2 videos ago, actually. They said that the game will slightly adjust difficulty according to team size, but they said it is kind of set for a team of 4 is how it is. But, you know, if a player drops in or out, they said the game will adjust to it, but they're still kind of tweaking it at the moment right now. And then I believe on Twitter, I mentioned this in another one, he did say that there will be scaling as well, level scaling to enemies, making it easier for other players who hop in and out of missions who are helping low-level players or low-level players that are playing with higher-level players, that there's supposed to be enemy scaling in the game too. So there's that as well. Now, when talking about the Javelins, we kind of got a bit more information on what the gear slots, pretty much what they are on the Javelins, which isn't anything special, but for now we know that one of the gear slots are going to be for the weapons, and the other gear slot is going to be for your gear attachments like your ice grenades, your multi-mortars, fire mortars, things of that nature. That's what's going to be in your Javelin gear slots in the game at the moment. There could be more, but that's all they pretty much went into saying that was going to be in your gear slots with your weapons and your gear attachments. So that is that. Now, they were talking about harvesting plants in games, and they said that there will be, you can harvest plants for crafting, and they'll appear as nodes in the world in the game. Again, crafting, I still don't believe they actually still went into what you will be crafting, but if it's plants, I'm assuming it's not gonna be anything, you know, weapon wise, most likely. So it might be armor, or it might just be consumables in game, whether it be health packs or, you know, something of that sort. But there will be ways for you to, I guess, harvest plants in games or resources in games, and they said they will appear as nodes in the world. Now, this was something I mentioned too in another one of my actuallys, and the comments had to point this out, even though I already covered this anyway. But he said, talking about the Strider, which I mentioned in a video before, somebody asked if you'd be able to customize the Striders themselves. They said not at the moment. And then my last video, they said that no, you won't be able to customize your Striders. Now, I had actually in the comments saying that they said over the course of the story it will change. Yes, they said over the course of the story your Striders will change, just like Fort Tarsus will. That's nothing new. That's nothing special. We should have expected that. But he did still go on to say that no, you can't actually change the appearance of your Strider. Yes, your Strider will change over the course of the story, but you can't paint your Strider the way you want it, make it look how you want it. It will be all story-related changes. Now, they did go on to say that they could see themselves adding a actual Strider customization after launch, but currently at the moment that you cannot personally customize your Strider. It will only change over the course of the story itself, which again, I pointed out, but you know how actualies are in the comments. Now, into something else I touched on in my last video, they were talking about the sub-regions because they were talking about the map, and there was a question of how big is the map when they showed it on this gameplay demo that you guys are watching right now. And on Twitter, he said that that was a sub-region of the map. Well, on the Q&A stream today, he went on to say that there's actually 10 total sub-regions in the game. So I guess essentially if you guys want to take 10 screenshots of the one sub-region, kind of put them together, and I guess you can have a makeshift, you know, idea of how big the world of Anthem will be. But they did say there will be 10 sub-regions in the game, and that the one that we saw at the beginning of the trailer when they were looking at the map was just one of the 10 sub-regions in the game. So that is that. Now, the next thing I thought was pretty cool, and I'm actually kind of looking forward to, they were talking about possible IP skins for the Javelins. Now, IP skins meaning different brands from EA, other licenses that they can, if they can get the rights to. Like they said, possibly there might be a Titan from Titanfall, a skin for the Colossus. They said they've thought about doing an Isaac Clarke, or the main character from Dead Space, for the Interceptor. So I thought that would be kind of interesting to see them do. And potentially it seems like they're going to, because they even mentioned one that they showed off at the EA Play for the Ranger, which I can't remember which one it was, but it seems like that's something they're planning on doing with these different IP licenses that they get from EA. I personally think it'd be dope to see a Big Daddy from BioShock as a Colossus skin or armor set or something of that for the Colossus. I think that'd be pretty dope if they're going to go that route and get different IP skins. But they said they want to have as much fun as they can with it, so I guess we can kind of expect that, or hope to possibly see IP related skins in the game. Now, this was something that I thought was cool, and again, he kind of deflected answering an indefinite yes or no, but by doing this, he kind of confirmed it for us anyway. He was asked if there were going to be any sword melees in the game, and of course, what he had to say was, we're not going to be talking about the Storm or Interceptor on this stream. Meaning, the Storm or Interceptor is most likely going to have a sword melee. We don't know which one, but it will be one of those two, most likely. Same thing that they mentioned again, which I've covered before. They asked about a cloaking ability. And when they asked about the cloaking ability, they again said, we're not talking about the Storm or Interceptor in this video. They could have said, we're not talking about abilities. They could have said, we're not talking about the Javelins, but they specifically said they're not talking about the Storm or Interceptor. So it's safe to assume that the Storm or Interceptor will most likely have a melee, a sword melee, and a cloaking ability. Which, like I said, for me, I felt like if any of them was going to have a cloaking ability, it would probably be the Interceptor. But that's just me. Now, talking about, since I guess we're still on the topic of Javelins and different variations of them, they were talking about all the Javelins and their air evasions. They said that all Javelins will have air evasions, barrel rolls, and dodges, and then we've kind of seen the teleport for the Storm in the trailer. They said all of them will have this, except the Colossus, surprisingly. I mean, I assume it's just because he's really big, but they did say that all the Javelins outside of the Colossus will have air evasions, barrel rolls, and dodges in game. And the evasion for the Storm, as we saw, were his like mini teleport in the trailer, or in this gameplay that you're watching right now, actually. But yeah, I thought that was something that was pretty interesting. So I guess on to the next part with the gear. They were asking about the different tiers of gear and how many different tiers of gear there would be, as i.e. your drops in game. And they said that at the moment it's going to be there will be common drops, there'll be uncommon drops, there'll be rare drops, there'll be epic drops, which we actually saw at the beginning of the video that the Colossus picked up. There'll be legendary drops, and the final one will be masterwork drops, is what they said. Now, they did say the last two names, legendary and masterwork, are subject to change, but at the moment it's common, uncommon, rare, epic, legendary, and masterwork as the tier of item drops in the game. Masterwork being the highest, common, of course, being the lowest. So, that is that. Now, on to scoring. They were asking about if anything in the game would have scoring, any scoring systems. They did say that strongholds will have scoring, and other Elder Game missions that they're not ready to talk about at the moment will also have scoring. So, I mean, I kind of expected that to be in it. They kind of said that that was something they were planning on implementing anyway, was a scoring system. So, I mean, for all you competitive players, I mean, you got something to do now. but yeah, so there is scoring in the game. Now, on to the last 2 points. The next point pretty much was talking about how the gameplay footage, the Storm is a level 1, and they were asking how can you get the Storm at a level 1 when you clearly said that the Ranger was going to be your starting Javelin. They said clearly for the demo purposes, they set it up like that. No, you can't get the Storm at level 1, but they did say that at the earliest you should be able to get the Storm at level 5. Now, we don't know if that means you will be able to get all Javelins at level 5, because they did say you'll be able to unlock Javelins through story missions that are specific to the Javelins you're unlocking. But at least we know now that by level 5, you can unlock the Storm, which I'm happy for because I plan on maining a Storm. So I don't have to grind too hard to be able to play with my main. Now, on to the last part, which was something that I kind of covered and I kind of wanted more clarification on. And they did go on to clarify it. They were talking about armor and weapons, and they said that yes, armor and weapons will have random rolls and stats. So I guess that kind of goes in with the, it adds to the whole collecting in the game. It gives you a reason to keep coming back for something. That was the biggest issue with Destiny 2. When they stopped doing random rolls, it was like once you got one of Uriel's gift, you got them all. Whereas I remember the main reason why I met most of my friends in Destiny 1 was by randomly farming the Grasp of Malik strike on Destiny 1, and we were farming for hours to the point where we created a party and it was like, how long do you guys want to keep going? We've like been friends ever since, just by farming, trying to get a good roll for the Grasp. So I'm cool that there will be random rolls and stats. Like I said, it will give you something to grind for, give you, those god roll weapons or items or tiers and stuff like that. So that is that, and that's the last of what I got for the Q&A that they covered. Like I said, this is all the new information at least, because they did repeat and reiterate some stuff I've covered in other videos, but this was just all the new stuff that I haven't mentioned in any other videos that they covered in this Q&A. Now, like I said, they did go on and talk about certain other things in the gameplay portion, which I'm going to cover later because I've already been working on another gameplay video highlighting the different drops, the different pickups and everything like that. Health, meter, supers, ultimates, or, whatnot. All of that in another video. So I'll cover that later. But this was just all the Q&A questions that Mark Dara and John Warner actually answered on the live stream. So that's all I got for you guys today. I'll be doing another video today doing a 100 ply giveaway for PS4 for Warframe. And then I'll also be doing a live stream, doing another live 100 ply giveaway. I don't know if it's going to be tonight or tomorrow. I haven't decided yet, but I'll be doing that. And like I said, I have another Anthem video for you guys. That one might take a day or two. Just because I'm still getting a bunch of the footage and then editing it and all that. So I'll get that out as fast as I can, because clearly when I don't get things out fast, we get the actuals that come onto the channel. Because that last video I had finished 2 days ago, but I uploaded it yesterday because every time I was about to upload it, it was like 12 at night and I didn't want to release a video at midnight. So I'm going to try and get these videos out as fast as possible so I can at least stay up to date when I'm giving you this information, because by the time I uploaded that last video, this Q&A was already out and I'm like, well, I already did the video. I might as well put it out. So yeah, so that's that. Like I said, thank you guys for watching. I got another Anthem video coming later. I'll catch you guys on the next one. And stay out of my comment section, actually. I see you. I'm watching you. Peace.